Yeah, I'm so sorry for my wrong, but look though. This is it right here. Joel Stinney, June 16th. I meant to be post this, but I decided to post it now because I was doing some research on him, so yeah, shoot this how I look, y'all. That's everything we did. I just want to show y'all. His consciousness will be acknowledged and be spoken by his ego. Sapa says be a y'all gave me a watermelon, but look, as I see from the title, man, I'm talking about my ancestor. You know, dear Joel Stinney, sincerely BorStinney. So as y'all see, I just want to say a little bit of things, y'all. So Joel Stinney was the youngest person to get, he got electrocuted. And y'all, fun fact, y'all, he was so small and so short they had to put a Bible as a booster seat. Yes, they use a Bible so his head can fit on the little thing. Yeah, it's real sad, y'all. He one of the youngest in America to get executed. And boom, they basically try to say he two YT girls, y'all, same color as mayonnaise. And come to find out, we being knew back then he was proven innocent, and they basically try to say that he was guilty. It's just a whole sad situation, y'all. So we had this little thing. Me and my family, we finally got justice. I just want to show y'all the clips of that day. I'm not really here to talk y'all head off. I'm just want to give y'all more knowledge, because y'all know this is a knowledge channel. I love giving y'all knowledge. I love spreading awareness towards y'all. So yeah, it's crazy that's still going on to this day, man. But I'm just here to liberate my people and make a new melanated Wall Street, man. So yeah, y'all, I love y'all and enjoy it.
So I'm gonna say now, even the sheriff told a lie, and I'm saying it because he reported it. Now, when George actually was incarcerated at Sumter County Jail for approximately 8 days, there was an elderly gentleman, well, he was an elderly at the time. He was 17 years old. His name was Wilford Johnny Hunter. And Wilford went and called NBC News and said that he was in Sumter County Jail with Mr. Stinney. You notice I may call him Mr. Stinney because he was old enough to be my daddy. And today is Father's Day. And so Mark Porter from NBC News contacted me and said, George, he said, we have an elderly gentleman in New York saying that he was in the jailhouse with Mr. Stinney. Say, can you follow up on that on me? So I did. Now check this out. The old gentleman, well, he was born on the 13th of February 1926. So if he's still living, he's 98 years old, okay? Haven't been in touch with him lately. But again, called him and he started naming people by their nicknames that was at the jailhouse. So Mark called me and said, well, George, what is your assessment? One or two things. Either he's a good researcher or he was there. And my thing was he was there. Well, while I was on the phone with Wilford Johnny Hunter, I said, I got to ask you one thing, my brother. And he said, what is that? I said, why were you in jail? He said, well, I had taken a car. And the owner said that it was stolen. And so they arrested me. And that's why I was in the jail with George for 3 days, according to him. Now, I spoke to him directly. He said he was in the Sumter County Jail on Monday, Tuesday. They brought him back to Clarendon County for a coroner inquest hearing on that Wednesday. All right? Now, we got documentation to prove that this ain't no what somebody told me. This is what I documented and learned. And so, at that time, Charles Moses Thigpen, the coroner, was the one that issued a warrant for his arrest. James Edward Gamble, the sheriff, just had to execute the order, okay? They went and picked him up. And there's a gentleman that threatened to lynch Mr. Stinney on that Sunday night if the sheriff did not allow them to get their hands on him. Now, you getting ready to lynch a 14-year-old child. hanging, whatever you want to do, right? This is documented. I'm not talking about what somebody told me. I'm saying this is documented. And so, again, these people who was involved in that child's execution, I did research on how all of their lives ended. The sad part about it is I could only find out one of the jurors. Because if you sign a death warrant, and we have Reverend Cardinal Hampton here, a judge, he can attest to this. If there's a death warrant that's signed, the two that have to sign it is the judge and the foreman of the jury. So William N. Clarkson Jr. was the foreman of the jury. The other 11 jurors, I don't know who they are. They are shielded by time and anonymity. But that's all right. God took care of all of those. If you have your hand in something that is not godly, he has the last say. So I want to say to y'all that had to walk as a Stinney, and those people who have dismissed you as a Stinney, your name is a name that flies, because it flies with him. And I want to thank y'all for being so brave. Now, is Eliezer Carter here? No, he's not here. I figure he ain't gonna be here. And I'll get him now. This is my attorney, y'all. He was the lawyer for the case. And he's not here. But there is a a program. The members of A New Day. Jordan, will you please come up and announce the members of A New Day? He's over there working, y'all, like he's always doing. He's a 22-year-old black male teacher.
And there was Green Hill Baptist Church for all religious services. At one time, there was also a train depot in Alphaville. My family lived about 4 miles from Alphaville, out in the Plowman Mill section of Clarendon County in the Westminster community. And a look at my birth certificate will tell you I was born in Alphaville, Clarendon County. And when I went over to college and met students from New York, Philadelphia, Richmond, Atlanta, they would say, "Copeland, where are you from?" And I would say, "I'm from Alphaville, South Carolina." And they would say, "Alphaville, where's that?" Well, Alphaville is where George Stinney Jr. was born. And because he lived and was electrocuted by the state of South Carolina in 1944 at the age of 14 years and 7 months, Alphaville is now known all over the world. A couple of weeks ago, went to see the movie BorStinneyX and racial discrimination. And that's just the way it was prior to Dr. King and the Civil Rights Movement. But to understand the context of that era, you have to go back to the Emancipation Proclamation and the period of Reconstruction. In his book, The Grit, the downward spiral of black Republicans from the party of Lincoln to the cult of Trump, Clay King of SM Urban Radio gives us this beneficiary. During the early years of Reconstruction, black men were elected to the U.S. House of Representatives and to the U.S. Senate. Right here in South Carolina, black men pretty much ran the state. But there were those in the South who were working behind the scenes to take away the voting rights of black men and return the South to the way it was pre-Civil War. And then came the Compromise of 1877. King writes in his book, and I quote, he says, "The compromise was an agreement between the political parties that allowed Republican Rutherford Hayes to win a contested race for the presidency against Democrat Samuel Tilden, with the condition that federal troops would lead leave the South, returning complete control to Southern Democrats, many of whom were former Confederates. Republicans agreed, turning their backs on black men, women, and children.